let's distinguish two ways of looking at it. One as pedagogically, can it be done that way? And the other, is it the best way for an individual to learn? Well, let's start with that one. There are different learning styles. Some people prefer to learn alone or to master a skill alone, and then perhaps expose themselves literally to other people and participate more openly. Other people are much happier to learn in a group context. So there's one way, so you perhaps allow for the possibility for both. Now, pedagogically, Jackie Stefkovich and Joe Shapiro have demonstrated for years the power of using case studies, and I certainly have adopted that. I start with that. If I have for example, the framework we were just talking about, where you start talking about ethic of critique, ethic of care, and then ethic of justice in terms of making a decision or analyzing a situation to be ethically sensitive, etc. That's complicated. And to develop skill in doing that, often working with a group of people who are sharing the analysis of a case is a good way. They help each other, they support each other, they master it. Some people become very impatient with it because they want to get into something real, or they want to talk about themselves, naturally. But as a starting point, I would say working in at least in a small group situation is really quite helpful. Now, one other approach I've taken, and again, it's more of a pedagogical notion, is that we're often told to begin with the learner where they're at, like what they already know. So often with a course or workshopping or even a conversation with people, I'll begin by asking them what they already know or what they believe or what they think. And before we even look at the experts or reading or anything like that, start with that. And it's quite surprising often when people, first of all, they may not have thought things very much and maybe a bit of a struggle to put things down, but it's a starting point. And once you get them reflecting on what they already know, have them share with one other person, say in the class. That's relatively safe, particularly if they can pick that person. And again, then personalities come into play. Some people want to do all the talking, others are happy to do the listening, so they don't have to share. But you're working up to larger groups and ultimately to looking at what the literature has to say, what the experts have to say. But you don't start there. Because if you start there, then you're just teaching people to be clones, to sort of mimic or copy. So it's like my little boy walking around with my shoes and my jacket when he's 3 years old. It's much better that he grows into that first before he starts wearing them. And I think the same is true when you're talking about ethical frameworks and moral literacy.